Something seemingly innocent but actually sinister is lurking among the autistic community. It's found its way into our stores, onto our internet, onto our awareness ribbons, and now into some police forces. Everywhere you look, it's there, haunting and hurting. It's the saying that autism is confusing and mysterious for me. It's the suggesting that autism is just for children for me. It's the saying that autism is a problem that needs to be solved for me. It's the suggestion that autistic people have something missing for me. It's the association with hurtful organisations such as Autism Speaks for me. The fact that it makes autism out to be a puzzling condition for me. It's the fact that the puzzle piece reinforces the idea that autism is something that should be cured for me. Shalom, shalom amigos. Today we are discussing the various crimes the puzzle piece has committed against the autistic community and how it feels to be an autistic adult having to see the puzzle piece out there still being widely used, which shouldn't. In summary, the puzzle piece has put a message out there saying that autism is a confusing mystery, that it's a problem that needs to be solved, that there must be something missing from autistic people, and that autism is a childlike thing, when actually the majority of autistic people out there are adults more than children. The puzzle piece dates back to the early 60s, where the National Autistic Society here in the UK was the first to use a piece of puzzle piece imagery where they also featured a child crying inside the puzzle piece. This is because they were describing autism as something which handicapped children with a puzzling condition that means they can't fit in with everybody else. However, now the National Autistic Society use a different logo and they have dropped the puzzle piece. However, using the puzzle piece at the beginning, initially, set off kind of like a wave of other autism organisations also adopting the puzzle piece, including the most notorious and the most harmful, Autism Speaks. The puzzle piece spreads a harmful message that autism is confusing and mysterious and therefore a puzzle that needs to be solved. The message that autism is something that needs to be solved has other knock-on effects which also perpetrate more harm towards the autism community. The puzzle piece also adds to the idea that autism is something that could be cured. The puzzle piece being seen as something that makes autism mysterious and confusing is also harmful because that stops people coming to us, the autism community, for answers. Instead, people are going to go to organisations such as Autism Speaks, who cause massive harm to the autism community and therefore learn things that probably aren't true. The puzzle piece also reinforces the idea that autism is something in children that children grow out of, and if they don't grow out of it, then they must be severely disabled adults with the minds of children, which is incredibly offensive and harmful for many reasons that I don't have time to go into today. But you get the idea. The puzzle piece itself is childlike. It's a kid's toy. You see the puzzle piece and you have the instant association with children and childlike things. But like I said earlier, the majority of autistic people out there in the world are adults, and we shouldn't be ignored by society and by media as soon as we hit 18. And lastly, the puzzle piece suggests that something is missing, like there's this little missing thing, like parts of our brain are missing that's stopping us from being able to be normal, which is just on all levels possible so harmful, so offensive, and so wrong. Ask any autistic person and we will tell you that we don't feel like anything is missing. We don't feel like there is a part of us that separates us from everybody else. We don't feel as though there's like a mysterious chunk of our brain that's not there, when actually we have our full brains and we're fine. And that just adds to the cycle of hurt. So as I'm describing how the puzzle piece is offensive, you can really see how this drives and continues the cycle of ableism and problematic, harmful stereotypes about autistic people. Now, as an autistic person, seeing the puzzle piece out there in the wild, it is just, I cannot verbally think of the appropriate words to say how that makes me feel, because it makes me feel hurt. It makes me feel like I am actively and purposely being ignored, that my voice doesn't matter, and only the voices of the people who want to hurt us are the ones that matter. That's how I feel when I see the puzzle piece. It is incredibly offensive, and if you ask autistic people how they feel about this and if they know the history behind it, then yeah, they're gonna be hurt. This is and I really do not understand any justification for why the puzzle piece should still be used. You can't reclaim it. I don't think. I personally don't see how you could reclaim it, considering how much hurt and harm it has caused the autistic community, and how it is still being used by organisations such as Autism Speaks, who do go out of their way to cause more harm to autistic people. And if you want to hear more about my little rant on Autism Speak stuff, stay tuned, because that's coming up next. We ain't finished. We ain't finished there. To go out into the world and see that the things being used to represent you are justifications for why people should be ableist to you, why people should be against you, why people should think that by default there's something wrong with you, is hurtful. It hurts a considerable amount. So what are we going to do now? What do we do now? What is the solution to this? How do we reach out to people and stop the continuous use of the puzzle piece? Now, if you know of an organisation that is still using the puzzle piece, I suggest writing to them, getting in contact with them, speaking with them, and letting them know why the puzzle piece is so problematic. Feel free to send this video across to whoever you see using the puzzle piece. It's like they say, if you see something, say something, and just call people out and be like, no, that's not okay. That is not an okay thing to do. But do it nicely. I don't want you to then go off and hurl abuse at somebody, because they might just be simply just unaware. A lot of the time when I see people using, everyday people using the puzzle piece, it's because they have genuinely good intentions. They just are ignorant to the history and the meaning behind that. So please don't go on the attack, but just word things nicely and say, this is an issue. To counteract the amount of puzzle piece stuff on there, if you're an autistic creative, make positive autism awareness badges, patches, t-shirt, keyrings, jewelry, bags, the lot. Make positive autism awareness merch. If you have an Etsy store and you're autistic, or you want to support an autistic person, here are some ideas of what you could do for designs. The infinity symbol is very good. We like that a lot. Red rather than blue. We do not light it up blue, not on this channel, not in my house, not in my life. We do not light it up blue, so we use red instead. And some autistic people also like to use gold because the AU gold in the periodic table, so use that as well. A lot of autistic people I've seen online use like a rainbow gradient to show like a spectrum of color, a spectrum of different ways you can be autistic, which is all beautiful, all amazing, all stunning. And I highly recommend that you reach out to autistic people and speak to autistic people if they're okay with you messaging them. Of course, like if it's a friend or a family member. And if you're autistic and you're just learning this for the first time, first of all, I want to give you a huge hug, because like when I first learnt this, it knocked me off my feet. I was like knocked back. I want to give you a huge hug, and I want to say thank you as well for coming to my channel to learn more. Also, if you're watching this and you're wondering how you can move forward, definitely dive in to your online research. Take into account the history, take into account what things mean, and think about the positive ways you can spread awareness. Now, there's lots of awareness anyway. We're all aware of autism. The next step is autism acceptance. So please do your research on how to bring more acceptance to autistic people and the autism community, and what you can do to include more autistic people, be more inclusive to the community. Hopefully in this week's video, despite it being really serious, you have learned something useful, and that you're gonna go forth with the knowledge that you have learned today and bring about more much needed acceptance for the autistic community. If you want to follow me online, my socials on TikTok, Twitter and Instagram are Shalom or Lavender, keeping it nice and simple. You can also subscribe for more. I love hearing from you guys in the comments. It always makes my day. Until next time, may the stars bring you joy and the galaxy bring you love. I love you. See you again soon. Bye.